Here is the truth. Most people in this world will never get free. It is not because they cannot, it is because they are playing the wrong game. We are all taught the same script from the time we are young. Go to school, get a good job, save 10% of your paycheck, and work hard for 40 years. We are told if we do that, we win. But look around. People do that and they are still stressed. They are still tired. They are still stuck. They are caught in a cycle of trading their time for money, and the worst part is, they think this is just how life works. Today, I want to give you 5 habits that will actually change your life. I'm not talking about getting rich overnight with some magic trick. I'm talking about breaking the script. I'm talking about building a real system so you do not have to trade your time for money until the day you die. This is about architecting your life in a way that creates lasting freedom. Let us get into it. Habit number 1 is to build your life around freedom, not things. When you look at money, what do you see? Most people see a way to buy stuff. They see a new car, a better apartment, or fancy clothes. They think money is for looking successful. But if you think like that, you will stay stuck forever. I want you to change how you see money. Money is not for things. Money is for freedom. Think about your life like a car trying to get up a hill. Your bills, your rent, and your lifestyle are the weight pulling you backward. If you keep making more money and then spending more money, you're just adding more weight. You will never move forward. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to get to a point where your investments pay for your life. That is when you are free. Stop upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a raise. This is the biggest mistake people make. They think a raise is a signal to spend more, but it should be a signal to invest more. Keep your life simple. Buy your freedom first and buy the things later. Freedom means having the ability to say no to work you hate. Freedom means having the time to spend with your family. Freedom means not waking up with a knot in your stomach because you're worried about the bills. When you stop focusing on things, you stop competing with your neighbors and you start competing for your own future. Most people are busy trying to impress people they don't even like. They buy cars they can't afford to impress people who don't care about them. When you realize that none of that matters, you are finally free to focus on the only thing that actually builds a legacy, your time. Habit number 2 is to treat money like a tool, not a goal. Money is just a tool. Think of it like a hammer. You don't wake up and worship your hammer. You use it to build a house. But most people worship the hammer. They spend their whole lives thinking about how to get more of it, without ever asking, what life am I trying to build? When money becomes your only goal, you lose. You take jobs you hate, you lose sleep, you sacrifice your health. And the worst part, you might end up with the money, but you'll be miserable because you forgot to build the life you actually wanted. Money does not fix your problems. If you're unhappy now, more money will just make you a rich, unhappy person. Decide what kind of life you want first, how you want to spend your days, who you want to be, and then use money to build that. Don't serve the money, make the money serve you. Money is not the scoreboard of your life, it's just the fuel. If you have the fuel but you don't know where you're driving, you're just going to run in circles and eventually run out of gas. Ask yourself, if I didn't have to work for money, what would I do with my time? If you don't have an answer for that, no amount of money will ever be enough for you because you will always be chasing the next dollar just to fill the void. This shift in perspective is the difference between a life of slavery and a life of purpose. When money is a tool, you don't mind if it grows slowly because you're busy building something meaningful. When money is the goal, you're always in a rush, always stressed, and always wondering why you feel empty inside. Habit number 3 is to automate everything. Here's the secret. Discipline is a myth. You can't rely on yourself to save money every month. You'll have a bad week, you'll see something cool to buy, and you'll talk yourself out of investing. Stop relying on your willpower. Build a system. The best investors don't decide to invest money every month. They set it up so the money leaves their paycheck before they ever see it. It goes straight into an investment account. If you don't see the money, you don't miss the money. If you don't miss it, you don't spend it. You just quietly build wealth in the background while everyone else is busy wondering what they want to buy next. That's how you win. You don't try to save, you make it automatic. This is the most powerful habit you can adopt because it removes emotion from the equation. When you have to manually transfer money, you have to make a choice every single time, and humans are bad at making choices when emotions are involved. By automating the process, you're essentially paying your future self first. You're telling your future self that you are a priority. Do this for 5, 10, or 15 years, and you'll be shocked at how much wealth you have accumulated without ever feeling like you were sacrificing anything. It happens in the background, out of sight and out of mind, which is exactly where you want your wealth building to happen. You have to remove the human element. The human element makes mistakes. The human element gets tired. The human element wants to buy the shiny new thing. But a system does not get tired. A system does not get tempted. A system just works. Habit number 4 is to detach your self-worth from your net worth. This is the big one. Most people don't just want money. They want respect. They want status. They want to feel like they're enough. So they tie their feelings to their bank account. If they have money, they feel good. If they lose money, they feel like a loser. This is a dangerous game. When you tie your value to your income, you become a slave to your bank account. You feel like you have to buy expensive things to prove you're successful. Stop trying to impress people. Stop trying to prove your value. Your bank account is just a scoreboard. It's not who you are. When you separate your identity from your cash, you stop making dumb decisions to show off. You can invest calmly. You can be patient. You can make real progress. Think about it. Do you really care what your neighbors think of your car? Do you really care if your coworkers think you're successful? Those are temporary. They're distractions. True success is having the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are secure and free. If you're constantly chasing the approval of others, you are playing a game you can never win, because there will always be someone with a nicer car, a bigger house, and more money. The moment you decide that your value comes from who you are as a person, your character, your discipline, your kindness, that's the moment you stop being a slave to the need for status. It's a liberating feeling to realize that your worth doesn't fluctuate with the stock market. You are stable, you are grounded, and that stability allows you to play the long game while everyone else is running around trying to keep up with an impossible standard. Habit number 5 is to think in decades, not days. Most people are obsessed with how to make money this month. They want to get rich fast. They want a shortcut. But wealth is not built fast. It is built slowly, quietly, and consistently. If you plant a seed today, you don't dig it up tomorrow to check if it's growing. You leave it alone. You trust the process. A seed planted today becomes a massive, strong tree in 20 years. Wealth is the same. Don't worry about the news. Don't worry about what happened to your stocks today. Focus on what you're building for 10 or 20 years from now. It's much better to retire early in a solid system than to blow all your money trying to look rich today. We live in an age of instant gratification. We want everything right now. But the best things in life, true freedom, true security, true peace, those things take time. They require a long-term mindset. When you stop worrying about the short-term ups and downs, you start making better decisions. You start looking for assets that will grow over time, not schemes that might pay off tomorrow. You start valuing your time and your health, not just your paycheck. You understand that compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, and compounding requires time. If you don't have patience, you will never build wealth. It's as simple as that. You are playing a marathon, not a sprint. If you start sprinting, you'll burn out before you ever reach the finish line. But if you set a steady pace, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, if you keep investing in your systems and your assets, you will eventually get there. And when you do, it will be because you had the foresight to look past the noise of today and see the reality of the future. Wealth is not luck. It's about having a plan and sticking to it. You don't build a strong life by accident. You build it by making the right choices day after day.
It starts with a shift in your thinking. It starts when you decide that you are tired of playing a game that's designed for you to lose. It starts when you build a blueprint for your own life and commit to following it regardless of what anyone else is doing. You have the power to change your trajectory. You have the power to stop the cycle, but you have to be the one to do it. No one else is going to save you. No government program, no magic stock, no winning lottery ticket. You are the architect of your own freedom. If you are the type of person who is done with the fake rules and you are ready to start building your own blueprint, this is Net Plus, where money stops being a mystery and becomes a language you finally understand. Hit subscribe for more deep dive lessons that actually stick.